What's up, everyone? Welcome to Whatcha Playin, podcast with me, James, where we talk about literally what have you been playing. This is just a little passion project of mine, just because I love gaming, and traditionally I've only been able to live stream and create content around sim racing, Gran Turismo Sport, Gran Turismo 7. So this is just a little passion project for me to talk about other games that I've been playing as well, and things that I've been enjoying that will either inspire you to go check them out, or generate conversation where we can talk about the games that we've been playing. Shout out to the podcast producers Ryan Viera and Mr. Casual, which are subscribed to the membership level of podcast producer on the YouTube channel, and we're going to get straight into it. Over the last week, I've been playing a couple of games. Not really too much GT7. Sort of fell off the bandwagon a little bit because I just stepped away for a week or so from creating content. So didn't actually play it at all. I think I played 30 minutes this morning of getting some money, because they did a big update about the economy and it in the game to try and make it easier for players to get in-game credits and stuff. So I did a little bit there, did a couple of the circuit experiences, and I am actually looking forward to getting back into it and doing a couple of daily races, or the manufacturers or nations. I've been seeing a lot of live streams about them, and they look a lot of fun. So that's definitely something that I'm going to get involved with again. I do want to do a Gran Turismo 7 review at some point. I do want to finish the cafe missions. I think I've got like 5 or 6 cafe missions left to go, and I also want to do the missions as well, or more of the missions. I've done the licenses, so just to get a fuller look at the game. And I know it's sort of like a games as a service thing, so it does change from month to month about like how it performs, and it's reviews from other people as well. So it's a constantly revolving review, but I'd like to just share my thoughts on it, how the launch has been for me, and what I think of it, basically. What else have I been playing? I played a little bit of a game called Shredders on Xbox. I've got an Xbox Series X, and I've got a PlayStation 4 Pro, and I do have Game Pass on the Xbox, so I've been taking advantage of that and playing a couple of games. One of them being this game Shredders, which is the closest you're going to get to a simulation snowboard game. I don't really know how to describe it, but it's really, really chill. It's like a more grown-up version of like SSX Tricky back in the day on the old console gaming. There is a little bit of a story in there, and it's quite quirky, and the characters are quite funny. But I think they've got a lot of references and a lot of characters from like the world of professional snowboarding. I obviously don't know them, but they sound like they're talking about actual real people in real life and their characters. And they might have got the real characters to voice it as well, because there's a lot of variation in the voice acting. So some of the voice acting isn't good, which would suggest that they could be actual just real life people who don't do voice acting as a career. But I've probably played like 2 hours of it maybe, and it is something that I sat down last night. I had 30 minutes, sat down, put the headphones on, and just shredded the slopes, man. It's quite difficult to get the different catches and stuff, because it's like RB or LB and then a direction on the right analog stick and stuff like that. But when you crash, it's just like hold X to try that again, and it instantly goes back to that bit that you were attacking, that slope that you were coming at. So it's actually a lot of fun. It's nice and relaxed. So I'm going to play that a little bit more. Obviously, this podcast I'm going to try and put up every Friday. So it's sort of like what have I been playing this week? and sort of what I want to play over the weekend as well. So hopefully next week I would have put another hour or two into it, and then decide whether I want to keep playing it or not, or try different things. But I'm having fun with it. Obviously snowboarding I've never done snowboarding. I'm not interested in the real life snowboarding, but it's actually kind of a cool game to just give a go, especially when it's on Game Pass and sort of, kind of free. What's next? What else have I been playing? I played Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh my goodness. Guardians of the Galaxy. It was on Game Pass as well. I probably did it in... that is a good question. I spent probably over a week and a half playing it. I found the story to be pretty good. Sometimes it did just go on a little bit too far, which is... I don't know. I think it could have been a little bit shorter, but all in all, I think it was very good. And I'm trying to look on here. I think I've got the Xbox tab, and I'm trying to see how I can look at how many hours I've played. Oh, stats. Here we go. I played it 15 hours, 26 minutes. I completed it in. I think it did a really good job of... And I actually want to do... Sorry to jump around, but I want to do reviews on here as well. So, I'm really taking care in playing the game and thinking about the soundtrack or the gameplay, the story, the lighting, all that kind of stuff. And I think it will make me appreciate the games a little bit more. So I will do a Guardians review as I've completed it. I won't do that today. I'll do that another time, maybe next week, so I can make some notes on it and give you a full rundown. But I thought it was really cool. You play as Peter Quill, which is the main character, and it's basically you have all of the other Guardians around you. Sometimes you have them, sometimes you don't, depending on what the story is doing. But you have your own special abilities, they have special abilities, and you sort of tell them what to do. So you can tell like Drax to do a certain move or Gamora to do another move, and it's quite interesting how they put it all together. I played it on the easiest difficulty. I just wanted the story, just wanted to see what the game was like, and I had a lot of fun with it. I'll go into more detail next week about it, but I really enjoyed it. I was surprised that I finished it. I haven't finished many games this year, but hopefully this is the start of a trend where I complete games and then we can review them, basically. What else have I been playing? I've been playing a little game called Weird West. Shout out to a guy called Paris Lilly. I watch and I listen to a podcast called Kind of Funny, or this company called Kind of Funny, and they do a daily podcast, kind of inspiring me to do podcasts of my own. And he is very passionate about Xbox, and he played this game again on Game Pass called Weird West. It's like a little twin stick. I think they call it a twin stick shooter when the POV is like top down ish on a character set in the Wild West, and you use your left stick to walk around and then your right stick to sort of aim the gun. So it's set in the Wild West, but there's sort of like a supernatural element to it as well, and the story is kind of getting me in as well, because you're trying to find out where I think your husband went. Obviously correct me if you know more, but I'm probably, once again I can check how many hours I'm in on that as well. I played 3 hours. I'm 3 hours into that game, and I'm really enjoying it because there's also RPG elements to it as well. You're collecting stuff. You can upgrade your weapons. There's an interesting dynamic to the game where there's a map, and you can go from one town, and then let's say there's a bounty on a target where you can either kill or capture this villain, and you click on the map, and your character travels from there to there, and it's X amount of hours or days. So they're like the whole game is on like this day cycle, which is really interesting. So I'm guessing there's like speedrunners who try to complete the game in X amount of days or whatever it is in game, obviously. But while your character is traveling from like point A to point B, it can be interrupted by like merchants or random battles where you have to like fight wolves or pigmen or witches or something like that. It's really interesting. So I'm really enjoying that game. Done 3 hours. I want to put a couple of more hours into it over the weekend. But that's about it. Gran Turismo 7, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, a little bit of Shredders, and Weird West. That's kind of what I've been playing over the last week. I did play a bit of Tunic, which is also another Xbox Game Pass game, but that was like the week before, and I only put like maybe an hour into that. I do want to come back to that because the reviews on that are really good. It's like a it's like a Zelda-like game, but I'll have more information on that when I play it a little bit more. But that's basically it. I wanted to keep this nice and short, and obviously I'm just sort of riffing this first one, and as the weeks go by and I can get a little bit more structured, we can have different topics and segments that we come back to. And obviously I want to know what you are playing as well. So in the comments, let me know what games you've been playing this week, or any games that you've been playing over the weekend. And in addition, any games that I've played that you have thoughts about as well. That'd be really cool. But once again, shout out to the podcast producers for this episode, which are Ryan Viera and Mr. Casual. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.